Hello, hello, hello there, Capricorn. How are you? How are you in this month of December? So it's only one season away to your birthday season. I always love December, I swear to God. Probably because it's my birthday month too. Sagittarius season, Capricorn season is always full of love, always full of family. I always love families, gathering, get together and stuff like that. Yeah. What's your holiday plan, guys? Right, so for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Anissa from the Inner Stereo. And for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. And thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. This is going to be your relationship spread, meaning that you could always, as usual, apply this to with anyone in your life. It could be with your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, exes, crushes, fiance, family members, anyone. I'm basically just going to be picking up your relationship energy in general, all right? And don't forget to also check your sun, moon, or Venus sign, because I tend to realize that with my readings, I resonate much more with my Venus sign rather than my sun sign. Try to breathe, Capricorn. It's usually very easy to read for you, but I feel like, especially with all of these major arcana in your overall energy, so there is this shift of energy that the universe has been given to you, and it's kind of like quite hard to process that, and I feel you. All right, so you have the Judgment card, you have the Sun card, and you also have the Empress card in reverse. With the Empress card in reverse, you know, the Empress always have a very, very people-pleasing quality attached to it. There's always a selfless love given to it. But I feel like right now you're much more accepting with this Judgment card in here. Like, you're very, very accepting, like you're letting go. Like, you let go and you let God, or you let go and you let universe decide what is the best for you. Because you feel like when you try to love somebody so much, like the Empress would love somebody, you give them a lot, you please them, you forget to love yourself, and then when you do that, you have yourself scattered everywhere. And right now your main focus, and that's what the universe is pushing you to do with it, with this being in your overall energy, is focus on you. Like, if people demand you of stuff, if people try to nag you of stuff, people wanting you to give more than you can give, like, don't do that. We don't do that. You have this Empress card in reverse, so the people-pleasing qualities is gone. Like, you would want to focus on yourself more than you would focus on others. What you tolerate in the past, you no longer tolerate in the now, because you felt like you've gave a lot, and now it's time for me to give myself something. Okay, you were so focusing on loving somebody that you forgot how to love yourself, got to put yourself first. It's good. You're much more accepting of your emotions right now. I feel like in the past you guys were much more in denial of red flags and everything, of the injustice and unfairness that has been going on in your relationship sector. But right now I feel like you guys are much more accepting. What's challenging you have the Seven of Wands in here. The Seven of Wands, we're talking about somebody who is taking a shelter, somebody who is being kind of like quite defensive, somebody who every time you try to say something to them, they always have a weapon to argue you about, because they feel like you're poking on their ego in here with the Seven of Wands. So they're always in defense every time you try to say anything. No, this is this, you know what I mean? And also the Ace of Chalices is a bit of a challenge in this relationship sector. The Ace of Chalices, we're talking about the overflowing of emotions. Right now, I feel like this relationship has quite taken a toll on somebody. So it's either you or either them who is kind of like drained. And there is this loss of creativity. There is this loss of initial excitement and the honeymoon phase of the relationship, where you felt like you love them unconditionally and you can love them without having doubts and stuff like that, without even having a hurt by loving them. It's kind of like quite difficult in the now. Right, so this person, the person that you're dealing with, they have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and then they have the Hanged Man in reverse. So again, as I said, because they're very, very defensive, it could be the way that you communicate as well. Like, I'm not trying to give you one, it could be the way that you communicate to them. It's not exactly how to get to them. Or it could be this person is very, very defensive. So there's something that they're being very, very stubborn about, and they're sticking to it. And every time you poke that subject, they're always going to be defensive towards you. Wait, my card too. and you see this person, why is he or she unable to see things from my perspective? So airy, Capricorn. In the past, you guys were super duper airy with the Queen of Swords in reverse in here, Princess of Swords in reverse in here, and you also have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords Justice card is very, very Libra in quality. Somehow you absorb the energy of a Libra, trying to, balance out the scales because you felt like it's been tipping one side more than the other. Like you were giving up to the point that you don't feel the balance. Again, as I said in the beginning, you don't feel the balance. And this person in the past, I feel like you have not really managed to communicate properly how you guys are truly feeling about them. There is this sense of walking on eggshells when it comes to communicating and expressing your emotions when it comes to them. So they feel all right with that. You know what I mean? Like they feel all right. They were the Seven of Pentacles in the past. I mean that they were blindly optimistic. Like they don't see that way. They don't see you guys hurting. They don't see you guys being in pain. They don't see it. They were being very, very blindly optimistic. Oh, everything is going fine. Everything is going beautiful. Right? But then when you guys snapped by becoming the Queen of Swords, there was like, what the hell is going on in here? And when you guys snapped because of this erupting volcano that is happening in here, they became defensive. Like imagine, like I've done this when I was in training in my previous company that I worked for. Like we were forced to be in pairs and then put our hands together like this, and one person is giving a direct instruction to push and the other person was not giving any type of directions at all. And this person to push, and then the other person would of course defend without him giving any type of instructions, because that is your life self-defense mechanism. Every time people push you, they push back. And they don't see it from your perspective. They are unable to understand why you're suddenly behaving that way. Why are you suddenly having the Queen of Swords in reverse attitude? Why you guys are suddenly super duper airy? Why are you now suddenly talking about injustice and unfairness? They don't really understand that. So they're kind of like quite confused. You might see them as somebody who is, you're talking like to a brick wall because you want them to change, but they don't know why they have to change. So that's why they became suspicious. You guys became suspicious as well. There might be a little bit of a stalking behavior going on in here, but you guys are super duper airy. Very, very airy. When they became defensive, you guys became defensive as well. And now I feel like in the past, you guys were very, very stubborn because you feel like your soul has been scattered for quite some times now. And now you're trying to bring justice into the positions. Okay, you want that, all right, I'm going to consider it. Maybe I'm giving it to you, or maybe I'm not going to give it to you. So you're being very, very balanced in here. Let's see what's happening in the now, Capricorn. Tem uma carta mais cara. They have the World card here. The Hermit card. King of Swords. Ten of Swords. Five of Swords. Jesus. Wow. Woo! I think I kind of remember every reading that I do. Not specific detail, but I remember the stories. And I feel like we've discussed this way, way, way back. Probably in August or July or something. Say what you need to say, rather than letting the volcano to erupt, you know what I mean? Because this is what happens when you let the volcano to erupt. Now this person is isolating themselves right now with the Hermit card in here. They're trying to find meanings. They're trying to find what's up. They're trying to look for answers. They're looking within now. They're doing a lot of self-contemplations in here, which is exactly what is it that you want. But it's going to be very, very difficult for them to understand exactly your point of view if you say it in this Five of Swords. Because the Five of Swords is a card that you want. Sometimes it could be deceived that you want to have the upper hand. Like this could be something that your partner would think about you. Like you always want to have the upper hand. But the truth of the matter is you're so fed up because you have five. Five comes after four. Four is something stable, right? Four is something stable. But then when you hold on so much on something stable, when you hold on so much to your comfort zone, it has to break through anyway. It has to break away so that you could evolve to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then starting it over from 1, right? So it was necessary. You've been holding on to this comfort zone for so long. Try to make everything peace. With the Empress card quality in here, people-pleasing qualities of you. And now you've had it. You're so fed up about it. Like you're just like, nah. Like this is what I want. So this person right now is kind of like, okay, I'm going to isolate myself away. I'm going to ask myself what is wrong. But this person actually wants to change. So with all those major arcana in your energy and all these major arcana in their present energy is the universe way of guiding both of you into evolving. So now this person is starting to, because they're isolating themselves, they're the world card. So now they're starting to make sense of everything. Like they're very, very accepting. Just like you guys do. All right, it's time for change. All right, it's time to change the dynamic. It's time to change of how I do things. Like they're starting to make sense of it. Okay? Somebody in this relationship is the King of Swords. You'd hate the fact that this person is the World card, but sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes when you guys are doing this Five of Swords type of thing, sometimes it makes you feel sad in some ways as well because how much you truly love them. But you cannot help to feel that way because right now you guys are the King of Swords. See this book? Book of sins, book of mistakes, every single tiny bit of mistakes that they've been doing in the past that you were unable to express in the past, you write it down in your tiny little book. And every time they come to you, they'd be having to be confronted with that book that you have, that you write. If you want to make this relationship work, rather than keeping that book, you know, the things, the little notes, the little mental note things that you've been having inside of your head, rather than doing that, try to open, like, I hate it when you do this. I was so upset when you do this. This is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. That way, you guys can go to a resolution much faster than just keeping it to yourself and make them guess what is the hell is going on. Because I see here that the universe is also pushing them to change. There is this willingness to change in here. There's this willingness to make amends in here. There's this willingness. See, with the King of Pentacles, especially in the future, like they're, okay, you want consistency, you want persistency from me, you want me to be more stable, you want me to be more sane. Okay, I'm going to do it. You want me to be less selfish? Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for you, Capricorn. So that's how they feel in the future. They're also going through the same thing that they're going from you. And the reason for that is because they're so afraid of losing you with the Eight of Cups in here. The thought of losing you is just so... Sorry, my memory space always runs out every time I do a reading. But anyway, the thought of losing you is just way too much for them, that they want to change. All right, by becoming the King of Pentacles. Exactly what is it that you want them to be? I think I saw something here. No? No, okay. Eight of Swords in reverse. So there's this breaking of this karmic cycle. Ten of Wands. Too much card, but you have the Knight of Pentacles in here. So you still have that unwavering devotions and loyalty that you feel towards you. Somewhere, something that deep down inside of you, you still feel the love towards them. And you actually, you know, like 50% of you still want to work things through with them. And they're willing to change because they're afraid to lose you. And you're going to be like with the 10 of Swords and 10 of Wands, you're going to be like, holy shit, we're doing this again, aren't we? But then you're willing to give them a try. You try to have faith in them a bit. And you try to tame down the beast a bit. But a little bit of note here, Capricorn. Okay, for this thing to not happen again, I feel like your partner, the one that you're dealing with, and now they've changed a lot. They've grown a lot from somebody who is inconsiderate of your feelings to become somebody who is like, okay, you know what? I want to know how you feel. I want collective happiness for both of us, not just my happiness, not just somebody else's happiness, but I want a collective happiness. I would be considerate of your feelings. Now they're in that stage. And when they're in that stage, it's safe for you to express exactly how you truly feel every time. Like if they do you something that upsets you, communicate so that this cycle doesn't happen again. You guys are going to get out of the period of this, the Eight of Swords, okay? You're going to get out of that period, so it's good. Because we see changes happening in here, so it's good. And you're like, okay, you know what, tame the beast. You still want to work it out with them, though. But see how much you guys are progressing in just an instant. From 5 to 10 to a rebirth of something new. But then when it's something new, try to maintain it so that it doesn't happen like this again. Both of you need one another with the Nine of Cups in reverse in here. You're codependent to them, they're codependent to you. They need you. They depend on you. You guys are also depending on them when it comes to emotional support. So the feeling is mutual. It's just that it's a maturation process going on in here, which is good. All right. I think I speak to you long, but anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, Capricorn. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next week for your bi-weekly. Bye-bye.